One of Pokemon's most beloved water types, Gyarados is expected to make a reveal in Pokemon Unite, and I'm going to explain to you all why I believe this is one of the most terrifying releases in Unite history. Now, let's jump right into it. The reason why it looks so good. So, Gyarados, amazing Pokemon. Like, look at how beautiful it is, and of course you have Magikarp as well, which just looks funny, goofy, all of it. Great start. Now, it's got a great evolution. Now, of course, we haven't talked about exactly how it all works yet, but I'm about to explain a little bit about why I think it's going to be really good. This evolution, it isn't gated by level. It works because of this focus gauge, and every time Gyarados, or actually Magikarp, makes an interaction in the battle, it adds up a little level increase thing, and when that thing goes to the max, you evolve into Gyarados. And, of course, we can imagine, Gyarados is very powerful. So, this immediately means you're not gated by levels, which is excellent. You can go and play the game, you can be active, and you're going to get that level up guaranteed as long as you're contributing to battle. Now, you have a strong mid-game and late game, I believe. Of course, it's going to depend on numbers. Could be a bit different, but I do believe it is going to be very powerful. It looks bulky, has heaps of damage, it's mobile, fast. Characters like this are often powerful, often strong, and we're going to see them have a lot of great impact in the games. So, let's break down the moves. Let's talk a little bit about why I think this character is so great in terms of the moves. So, let's start first things first, the Magikarp passive. And when the Pokemon is damaged by an opposing Pokemon, it just increases movement speed. And this is going to stack up to 5 times. So, you're going to get to run away a bit. It's a bit funny. I actually like it. Cool. And we get to the further part is each time this Pokemon knocks out an opposing Pokemon, scores a goal, or makes any other contribution to battle, its effort gauge increases. And once this effort gauge is full, the Pokemon evolves into Gyarados. And it can be a fast evolution, it could be a slow evolution, we're not 200% sure, but from the moment and what I've seen and what we're going to show you, it looks fast. We're seeing like 8-minute, 20 evolutions. And if we're talking about a huge level up into Gyarados, oh, this looks great. And let's talk about Gyarados' passive, which is insane. When the Pokemon knocks out an opposing Pokemon or makes an assist, all of its move cooldowns are reduced. So we're talking about, this is a cooldown tempo. It's a, I get a 1 kill, I get another kill. Moxie, of course, the passive, you know, from the Pokemon games. This is great. Like, I mean, this is going to be really high tempo character, taking the guys down, getting cooldowns again, and just taking guys down constantly. So, Magikarp's 2 moves are Flail and Splash. And Flail, what it does is, it does area damage near the user, and it does more damage depending on the health bar of Magikarp. The lower it is, it does more. If it's full, it just does a flat amount. So, pretty good if you're a low health farming. I think maybe it makes it less powerful in the jungle for this reason, because you don't really want to be low health in your jungle. You're very susceptible to invades, blah blah. Not greatest, right? But in the lane, it does seem interesting. You could be like a half health in the lane, easily secure farm. It really does seem interesting. And Splash is actually a jump, and you have free reserves. I'd love to see that they've incorporated Splash into Magikarp. This is just a no-brainer, right? It's a really clear and cool idea. Every Magikarp has Splash in the Pokemon games, and they've just jumped it in right here. Great. Now, let's talk about Gyarados' moves. So, Dragon Breath is a ranged area ability that deals damage and leaves any target that gets hit paralyzed. And the user's attacks are boosted for a short time upon hitting enemies, and it gives these boosted attacks, they give them bonus damage and extra attack speed. And the more targets you hit, you get more attack speed. And the upgrade to this move is you get more damage from the basic attacks and the move's area of effect ability. So, this is, I think it's quite good. I'm not entirely sure what this is going to look like for us, but it looks quite strong. You get like some sort of mini CC and lots of bonus attacks, like boom, you throw it out and do. I can see it being very powerful, and really will depend, like it depends on how much damage it deals, you know, how long is this little stun for, how long are you going to have this short time boosted auto attacks, and you know, if this attack speed's worth it. We can see this character quickly transition to sort of mid-game bruiser hybrid character. I'd say similar to like Greninja in that sense, where you have strong melee auto attacks, but your range auto attacks after hitting this move are very powerful. It could even be execute level. So really hard to see. Gonna have to tell later. Aqua Tail. Now the user swings a tail. It's a tail for a set time, and if it hits 3 times, so this is like a ranged thing. You shoot out these waves, and if it hits 3 times, it can be used again, and that's like a charging thing, which looks a little bit like the Zacian Unite move. This sort of concept. Sweeps its tail in a wider area, and of course, the longer you charge it for, the more damage and area it attacks. And the upgrade to this move is the second stage does more damage, and The damage is based on the missing percentage health of the enemy. An execute move, insane. Not sure what exactly the percentage is going to be as an execute, but it's quite powerful, quite valuable. I do think we're going to see maybe this move uses a secure. It does look like to be really good like spacing move and like a little bit of poke as well. It's kind of nice to see melees with a bit more poke now, because like the meta has become engulfed with these long range characters just throwing beams, and having a little bit of poke as a melee means that the game isn't just like I engage once and I lose, or I engage once and I win. Maybe we have a little bit of variety here. So good changes and a good addition. Really powerful. Now Waterfall, looking at the other moveset, it uses 3 dashes to deal damage, and they change direction. You can change the direction between the charges of the dashes. Now if you hit the second charge, you get a shield, and if you hit a third one, it throws or stuns the opponent, and the upgrade to this move is a CD. So we're gonna show it on the screen while I'm explaining, but it does look quite nice and practical. You get these like 3 little dashes. I think they can be used in rapid succession. You want to hit them, so it's less of movement speed, but it could be very fast cooldown. Really gonna have to see the applications, but it looks super nice, like whoo, 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 and then taking down a triple kill or something. It looks very powerful. Now bounce. The user charges power and then jumps to a location and does damage. And the longer the charge, the bigger movement you get, and after a certain charge, you're going to get a shield on the bounce and decrease the opponent's movement speed. Increasing shield strength is your upgrade. Seems pretty standard, good shield, jump down, they get slowed, maybe you throw a Dragon Breath, maybe you could throw a Waterfall. I think, I would say, if using combination, Aqua Tail probably does make more sense, and then you grab Waterfall. I don't know, maybe, you really got to tell, it could be anything, but really looking really powerful. Shields, more mobility, and stun, or movement speed decrease. Really huge. Now for the Unite move, you dive underneath the water and you cannot be targeted, and when you use it again, you can reappear and you attack the opponent. If you use it for a set period of time, it creates a whirlpool underneath you, and it gives it a continuous flow. And if you use it for an even longer period of time, you pop out of the ground and you throw enemies in a water spout. Really nice. Now, okay, if you're loving the content and you love the descriptions of Gyarados, please drop a sub, leave a comment, like the video. Really pushing content out this month for a little bit of remainder, and we're going to see a lot in December. Okay, cheers. And what's next is the applications for the game usage of these moves. Talked a little bit about how maybe I'd use them, but look at these combos. I right away see Waterfall bounce could be crazy. You dash once, you maybe have another one, but instead you bounce onto them to slow them down. You guarantee hit, you have double shield. You're starting to look really annoying now, and then you throw the opponent, you drop ulti. Ulti looks like a huge assassination tool. Don't even want to talk about Aqua Tail, which does feel like, once again, they have a lot of secures in the game, putting more towards a secure emphasis. Very interesting with Remote Stadium coming back. I guess we might talk about that in another video, but yeah, a lot of secures, looks really fast tempoed. The passive is the linchpin of this whole Pokemon. Being able to escape this weaker Magikarp state without being like a Tyranitar or a Shifu, it's insane, and I think it's going to be a killing machine. You're going to want to run at the enemy, push the pace of the game, you're early game menace, and when you push the tempo, you're going to become only stronger. You have strong moves that give you lots of survivability, lots of damage. You're going to be able to maneuver the battlefield very easily, and this is some of the things that make Pokemon scary. Being able to run around quickly, having executes, having shields, having survivable tools, being tanky, being quick, and killing people. These 3 things combined, you become a menace. And I do believe the main reasons it's going to become God tier is going to really depend on how much damage you can do sustainably. We haven't seen all the numbers yet, we don't know exactly what it's going to look like, but from my understanding, this character, if it gets ahead and has these 6 attack weight stacks, it can truly be a menace. We're talking about KO into next move, into KO into next move, into it's sort of this self-fulfilling prophecy. That once you get ahead in the game, you just keep snowballing, keep rolling opposition. Imagine this with a Comfy or some sort of pocket support to give that healing. It can truly be terrifying. And I find it hard to believe many Pokemon can deal with it. It doesn't have unstoppables, so I guess it has that benefit, but it has a lot of damage, and it does seem to be very, very impactful when you're running around the game. So, alright, I'll let you guys think about that, think about why it's going to be so good. Now, you loved the video, all I want you to do is click on this to watch another one, or click on this one to stay ahead of the game. Alright, cheers guys, lots of love, bye.